Christy and the gang, and we had a wonderful time, And on the way back, there was a beautiful rainbow. And we know what the God says about that rainbow, don't we? We understand Genesis, what it says. But when we got to the house, you know, I got Christy's beautiful home and whatnot up on the hill, and we was all just sitting out. And you know what? I don't know why I said what I said, but we were all talking. And I asked Christy, I said, I want to race you. You know, I just want to race you. I want to run, you know, because she's in great shape, obviously. Right now, when you look at me and you say, you know, you would have took the bet for her, you know, and you should have took the bet for her. Now, what do you think I'm running on the bridge for? Okay? You think I want to run on the bridge? I'm just trying to keep up with her, all right? All right, that's it. But anyway, but I was hoping that Christy was going to say, well, no, I don't want to do it. And she said, let's do it. So then I said, I'll put $100 on it right now, and I'll beat you. But I made it stop. I said, I'll put $200. She says, let's do it. Oh no, I stopped at $200. Okay? Anyway, so Drake said he made a little obstacle course in her front yard. And the little obstacle course is she has some not monkey grass, but saw grass or whatever you call it here. I'm from Florida, well, I'm from Ohio. But anyway, and so Drake said, what I want you to do is we're going to time both of you. And we'll go one at a time. You've got to run through this obstacle course, this monkey grass, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Run through the monkey grass. Okay, no problem. You know, I did you that. I was doing it out, you know. You can't run through monkey grass. I mean, Marty, that was pretty simple. Pretty simple, right? Run through. Yeah. And so Christy was first. And Drake had a timer, everybody was watching, you know, and I'm watching because I wanted to see her schematic. I wanted to see how she would do it, all right? So I can beat her. This man can beat her. So she took off, and she was just so out. Just going, but her time was really phenomenal. But she had it made, you know, and then she got to the end, and then she ran straight back, you know, about, 25-yard dash, straight back. So, okay, she did really well. So now it's my turn. Okay, I got it. I have this. I got this. If anyone got this, I got this. I didn't want to beat her because I felt bad, but I was going to beat her, okay? Okay. So Drake said, okay, I get on the line and said, go! And he didn't give me time. You know, I said, Drake, no. Baby kiss him right off the bat, okay? Baby kiss him. Okay. You know how these refs are, all right? So I said, well, I go. So I got ready. It's barefooted. Remember, we just had that great rainstorm, slippery and all that. And then Christy said, well, if you fall, you lose. What's that? What do you mean you fall, you lose? So she knew something about me, okay? And I thought, I can do it. No problem. So here we go. One, are you ready? Acknowledge you're ready. I'm ready, I'm ready, Drake. I'm ready to go, okay? So precise, you know. And it's like, okay, are you ready? I'm ready, runner. Or I'm ready, Drake. Okay, go. So I took off. What I would do, you can't see my arms, I would hug the grass. And I was doing good. I was doing good. And I got at the end of the salt grass. I turned around and I thought, I got this. I was feeling so good. I was feeling great. I knew I had her beat. And I was running fast, really fast. Tracy was not running fast. I was running fast, okay? And the next thing I knew, I'm telling you, I humbled myself. My feet was going so fast. They split. And I went face forward, and I saw me falling. And all I could look is I looked over to see if her neighbors was watching. I felt like a fool, like I always do. And then I saw Christy just laughing at me, and the boys laughing at me. And I'm looking, I thought, this isn't funny. And I hit the ground, and I slid to the ground like this, all right? So, totally so. I chipped my tooth, okay? And you all saw the dent I put in the grass. Drake came out and looked at the grass and said, oh, this is not good. I don't think Mom's going to be happy, because it's so neat, And so they went out and looked. It was a deep hole, So then they found a piece of my tooth in the hole. Now, I said all that to say this. I'm confessing my sins, okay? All right? I will never make a wager against her again. Right? Never. And then, fathers, don't bet against your wives, okay? Or fiancés or girlfriends, because you're going to lose. That's just the way it is. Now, I said that to say this, okay? I was humble. For he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right? Well, Robert, the thing about that is Christy said, I know that verse. Yeah, you do.
Portrait of the godly father. Now that we know this, ladies and gentlemen. Fathers, did you get the scripture reading? Did you understand that? Did you get what Eric read there in Ephesians 6 and verse 4? Let me give you another translation, the New American International Version, New International Version. It says it this way, folks. Fathers, remember, I'm talking about me. 4 children growing up. Do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and in the instructions of the Lord. Oh, how we need that in America today. No, wait a minute. Oh, we need that in the world today. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we need that in St. Mary's today. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I need that today, ladies and gentlemen. Ephesians 6, verse 1 to 4, that Eric read, was very vital. Paul was talking to a church at Ephesus, and he said, this is what you need to do. Take a look at our world today, and you tell me what's going on in the world today. I'll tell you where the world, or why the world is in the shape it is. It starts from family, ladies and gentlemen. You can say anything you want to say, and I'm not trying to be dogmatic, but I'm telling you, it has a lot to do with your rearing. That's just the way it is. And you fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Can I ask you a personal question? Can I ask you a personal question? When does this ever stop? Can someone tell me when this stops? I just want to know when it stops. I mean, I know when they are at home, we are to train our children in the Lord. But the question is, when does it ever stop? We get Proverbs 22 and verse 6, train up to the child in the way that he should go. When he is old, he shall not depart from it. We kind of get that, but we wonder with that. Because it's not easier, it always don't go like that, ladies and gentlemen. But we do understand we have instructions as parents that we got to do the best we can with the time we have to do the best we can with our children. Now, fathers, I'd like to pose this. If you're like me, you have fallen short on this one several times in your lives. Maybe you're not. Maybe you did a lot better than I have. But I fell short. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. You've got to keep on asking God to help you. When does that ever stop? As fathers, when do we ever stop helping our children? Remember what Jesus said in Matthew 18, verse 22? When I turn there and I look at this, I wanted you to see this very, 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 very clearly here. In Matthew 18, verse 22, get this, because this hit me. This hit me hard yesterday. Very hard. And I knew what I was doing, but this hit me. It says, Jesus said unto them, I say unto you, until 7 times? Wait a minute. No, Jesus said, no, not until 7 times in a day. In a day. Talking about forgiveness. If someone come and ask me forgiveness, not until 7 times in a day. No, until 70 times 7. Where does that come from? What did he say? Think about it. When I was running early this morning, I want to tell you something. Times 7. And I thought about life of me rearing my children. And I thought how many times I would ask my children to forgive me. Because I wasn't a perfect man. I wasn't a perfect father. I wasn't a perfect husband. And then this verse, it was etched on my mind 490 times I think this is what it's about. Loving like Jesus. That's what it's about. And that's what Jesus is saying here, ladies and gentlemen. And I thought about that. And, I just get down. And I raise my hand, and it's like, God, you know who I am. I am so unworthy. But yet you, God, you have always picked me back up. Amen. How many times have you been picked up? There's not one man in here that thinks he has it all figured out. And if you do think if he does think he has it all figured out, you know what? You need to come right up here and sit right in front with me. All right? We need help. We need help. We need help. And that's why we have hope, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we have hope. Now, let me give you some truths through School of Hard Knocks, okay? Anybody know who Dr. James and Shirley Dobson's were? James Dobson. Okay, I love Dr. James Dobson. Okay, I took all of his books. I have all of his books. I still have all of his books, and that's what we did as we grew up with our family. That's what we did. I wanted to make sure. This is in his book. Okay, all right. So it's like this. Author Derek Prince had described the renegade male. The renegade male. I think my wife is trying to tell me something. Okay. The renegade man, as one of the society's biggest problems. Actually, we had a great marriage. I'll be honest with you. The word renegade actually means one who has shirked his primary responsibilities. It is an accurate description of those husbands and fathers who pour every resource into their work or their pleasure. All right, well, leaving the childbearing tasks entirely to their wives. Now, that should never ever be done, but nonetheless, both boys and girls desperately need their fathers. Would you agree with that? Would you just say, Mr. James Dobson, boy, you humbled me, Mr. James. I was humbled last night, but you humbled me. To play in their lives, research in the field of child development has confirmed. This is not conjecture. This has been confirmed that the absence of positive masculine influence plays a key role in adolescence rebellion, sex role identity, and cohesions within the family. Would you agree with that? Take a good look at what's going on in families today. Just take a good look, because every week I get over 100 texts that tell me I need help with my family. Just take a good look, ladies and gentlemen. Do I ever resemble the renegade male? And if you do, how? Husband, in what ways have I been a good father? For couples without children, what kind of father would I be? You see, this covers everything. I'm talking to our fathers today on Happy Father's Day. I'm not degrading you. I want what's best for you. I want the best for you, and I'll tell you, I called some people up that I usually wouldn't call, but I called them, or I texted them, and I said, hey, I just want to let you know I love you. Now, they haven't texted back to me, but I did, because I needed to let them know that. Now, this was done in the book called Nightlight, and if you want the book, I'll show you the book. It's a devotional for couples, Dr. James and Shirley Dobson. The page is number 70. There it is. There it is, in black and white. Today is June 15th, 2025. Hey dads, hey husbands, hey fiancés, hey men. Are you going to live today? Do you know without a doubt that you're going to live all day long today? You see, if you would say, yeah, I do. No, you don't. No one knows. For that matters, even the women. We don't know. But this could be the very day. Drake is right down now pulling bodies from down in Wheeling because of all this rain. We have freak accidents all the time, do we not? I made a vow a long time ago that the day, if I get a chance, when it's something I get it and I don't see it coming, that I will ask God, my dying breath, how much I do need Him. What a father's testimony. Would you quote scriptures in your death? Will I? And that's a lot of reasons why I say more is taught than taught. Because the biggest thing, when your children look at you, dads and mothers, they emulate you. Do you believe me? They emulate you. And all they want to feel is to hear you say, I love you. Are you hearing me? My dad bought my love with money. I didn't want money. I wanted love. But that's how he was poor growing up. His dad was poor growing up. He was a coal miner. But my dad has achieved highly. He was a successful businessman. But time is fleeting. What our children need to hear from us is that I love you. This could be the last day. His name was Doug. He was a joyful man. I met him over in Tijuana, Mexico. My wife was dying of cancer. He was a funny man. You think I'm funny? This guy was funny. He was a funny man. And when I went over there, because that's where you go when you die. That's your last hope. That's your last step. That's your last place. And I was there. And there was people over there that owned supermarkets, super Macy's stores, the biggest thing, just billionaires. They were there. They had something in common, and we call it death. But God was such a good man. And when I walked in, he saw me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he said, hey, why are you so happy here? Are you dying too? And I looked at Dolly, and I said, no. But she is. He said, it's okay. I'll take care of it for you. Because I'm dying. I said, thanks, Doc. He was a good man. I loved that man. I loved him. He said, it's okay. God will help us along, Danny. I heard what you're telling these people. And I wondered why he was following me. Everywhere I go, the different, little rooms they had. And all I would tell him is that don't give up on Jesus. Don't give up. Beg for him. And he begged. He said, I know you've got to go back home. I heard you telling these people you're going to fly back to San Diego, or San Francisco, and then from San Francisco to Texas, and then from Texas back to Florida. I said, I am. He said, I'll take care of it for you while you're gone. And I said, Doug, thank you. And my daughter Angel came from Thailand. She was in Japan and then Thailand and China, but she came back and she said, and she was helping Marty. Because my other girl was still in college, and Jordan was a young man, and Jonathan was married, and Angel, which will be with us at the end of the week. She's coming back to spend the summer here. And what a wonderful, she's just like me. She's pretty. Let me introduce you to Doug. That's a friend. And that's what I got to do. He taught me something. And with the time I have left behind any podium or wherever I go, I'm going to tell people I'll help you. Even if they're enemies, I'm going to tell them I love you and I'll help you. That's my job I got to do. Because he called me. messages before we're done here. What will they say about you when you leave this world? What kind of car you have? Your boat? Your house? For God's sake, will they talk about your soul and what you did for your children? Because what really matters? Jesus gave his life for us children. That's what he says for us to do. Isn't it, fathers? He says, give your life for your children. Folks, in today's Bible reading that Eric read, we notice that when God's instructions for marriage, you go down to verse 7 and 8, and family relationships are followed, you know what the Lord says? I will bless you, home. If you live by my rules, I will bless you. A godly father who is highly involved with his children and wife will have a tremendous spiritual and physical impact upon their lives. There's no getting around it. Recently, I came across an article that said this. Kendra, listen to this. Listen to this, Kendra. The proof in father absence harms children. It's right. No, I know you've got to work. I'm not saying you don't. I understand 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. We got to work. I'm just saying we've got to give time for our children as we have them, because that time is fleeting, isn't it? Would you agree with me how fast time goes? I look at these two young boys over here, young men. Look at them. They're good looking, aren't they? Well, that's a thank you. I mean, no. Marty, thank you, don't. But they're very good looking. But not only are they very good looking, you know what? They're smart. But not only are they smart, I'm happy for them. But we need one another. We need one another. And I look at your children too, and I think about it. I mean, come on now. What do you all think about Lucas? Did you see him sing today? You know, Tim Sweeney was like, I thought Tim wanted to just sit down and let Lucas come up, you know? I mean, he just kept on blinking his eye at him. Wasn't that great, Tim? I went on to say that the absence of fathers is a serious crisis in America, world. We already looked at this. In fact, fewer than half of children under 18 live in a traditional two-parent home today. Fewer. It's 75% today, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on with corporate America, the world? We put priority over things more than our children. We don't do that. Satan has a way to deceive us. Brother, Satan is killing the home. He's killing us. What are we going to do to fight back? What are we going to do? In addition, more than half of today's fathers would like to have a less stressful job. I talk to them. I talk to corporate leaders and managers and all these multi-millionaires. I talk to them. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire to talk to. I talk to the paupers too. Blue-collar workers, like me. More than half of today's fathers would like to have a less stressful job because they find it difficult to balance work and family responsibilities. In other words, what I'm saying is, like, I just wish I had more time. But there's bills to pay, and there's this, and there's that, and everything's going on. We know everything's going on in this world today, isn't it? The best gift that you can give your child is eternal bliss. You can be with them forever. Ladies and gentlemen, I am an older father. I did have on there, but I changed it this morning. I did have on there, I am a mature father. Well, Roger, I didn't like that, so I took it off. Then, Marty, I was going to put, I am a gray-haired man. But I've got, the gray is coming. You'll see it coming back quicker now. It's okay. It looks good. I mean, I like gray hair, okay? I'm a gray-haired man, but I had to scratch that. So I put, I am the older father who is still raising children. I am. I'm hoping to have a bigger family. I think I'm going to get a Partridge Family bus. Hey! No, that's the monkey. Whoops. So, I'm talking about my children, okay? Look at it. Look at it. Number one, my first obligation is love God. A mission statement that I wrote when I was a very young man, my first year of marriage. We are committed in choosing to make God smile. I always ask, I was 22 years old, how can I glorify God? I knew that if I was going to keep my wife, I needed to have a good standard. What standard is better than Jehovah? I did a lot of traveling, a lot of flying, a lot of stuff. But I always ask God to forgive me. Number two is second, you love your spouse. I'll say, I'm going to love my fiance. Then when I get married, I'm going to say, I'm going to love my spouse. Number three is you love your children. I'm telling you the direction that the Bible gives here. Number four is, I should say, love your animals, Leo, or your cats, whatever, okay? Dogs, or whatever you like. But I'm asking you, when does that stop? I want to know, when does it stop? When does it stop? Well, the question is, when does God stop loving you? Will you tell me that? Can someone tell me when did God stop loving you? When does that happen? That's funny. How about that? If you can't get no closer to you, look at the lovebirds. This is the way of building strong marriages and families. Yes, it takes much effort and diligence. Diligence means constant application. But if we want to pass on our faith and influence future generations for Christ, we must quality and quantity time with them. You are what you practice. Isn't that the truth? This is the only way we can leave a godly legacy, and that's all I'm talking about. It's time to turn to God. I'm talking about me, not you. I've been away from big congregations. It doesn't matter what you say and what you do. When you mess up, you tell God, clean you up. I just want God to clean me up. I want to love Him. And I want to love Christy. I want to love her boys. I want to love my children. And I want to help people to make it to heaven. What do you want, man? This is the only way we can leave a godly legacy. There is no other way because He is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. We need fathers in this one. Do you hear me, guys? We need fathers. Happy Father's Day. All I have is yours. Isn't that what Jesus said in John 3:16? Happy Father's Day.